Guido's texting it in, and I'm like, you know what, Guido, I'm going to ask Baldy, because of all the people who would know, Baldy would know. Hey, ask Baldy, can you simulate or give us a feel for what the quarterback hears in his helmet from the OC or the head coach? Is he listening all the way till the snap? Is the OC relaying a play right after the previous one is done? Like, break down that entire process.
So let's just say Jordan Mason goes off right tackle for 4 yards.
Yes.
So it's now 2nd and 6. So Kyle is hitting his waist button right here.
Yeah.
So it's now 40-second clock has just started.
You're standing, you're hitting your right-hand side.
Now you watch Kyle all the time on the sideline,
Yep.
okay? He's already looked at 2nd and 6. He's looking at the yard marker, where they're at, down distance game. He knows all that. So he's hitting his talk back to Brock, and it's going to cut off at 15 seconds.
Yep.
So on 2nd and 6, he could go, okay, let's go fire 47-year-old pinch quarterback pass, X slant, and then he might have like F like delay,
Gotcha.
okay? And then he'll say, he might say, like as an add-on to Brock, hey, look, if they come off the slot right here, because this is what they do on this 2nd down right here, all right, just know that you got a bubble on the backside. So he's giving them the alerts right there.
Gotcha.
So he's got the play. Now, some guys have simplified everything where it's just a number. Give me 2. So now Brock is looking at his wristband, right, and he's just reading the play. Okay, and he's giving all the alerts. The alerts to Jordan, the alerts to, Kittle on a delay, whatever it might be.
I saw a clip of Matthew Stafford where McVay's talking to him. And Stafford's like, he keeps talking, okay, he keeps going on and on. Now, I don't know I think this was during the timeout, however.
Yes.
Not during the play, because obviously you have the 15 seconds, you got the cutoff there.
So
with
the league
walkie-talkie.
mandates, I want to make sure that the audience hears, the league mandates 15 seconds, it cuts
40-second
off.
play clock at 15 seconds, it cuts off. Automatically cuts off, 15 seconds. But during timeouts, they're talking in the helmet, and Stafford's like, does this guy ever shut up? He's like joking. He's just like, McVay just goes on and on and on and on. So like you get a coach like Gruden or something where the play's like 30 words or something. Like, how do you get that in 25 seconds?
Well, it was a problem. Like there was quarterbacks that, were with Gruden that could not spit the play out. And you knew they were going to struggle. They just... I don't want to mention any of the quarterbacks' names because some of them
we
are on TV now.
We've seen the clips.
Bruce Gradkowski.
He may be a broadcast partner.
Yeah,
we like Chris Hibbs.
So there was guys that had some issues, man. When Gruden had his show, like with the quarterbacks leading up to the draft, that was like one of the big things. Like, can you spit the play out at the whiteboard?
Right. It's like too much sometimes, man. Let's
too much.
Get the wristbands going on. I know Caleb has a wristband in Chicago.
Well, I remember like during the Harbaugh era, Kaepernick would be sitting here and they're waiting, and then they'd get under center. Alex had the same problem under Harbaugh. Yep. They could not get the hike off in time.
Remember with Harbaugh, it went from Greg Roman to the quarterback coach, Jeep Chris, to Harbaugh. It went through 3 different dudes and into the quarterback.
Yeah, that's true. That chain of commands.
It was like a relay race, 4x1 in football. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's too much.
But these are the things, I think, when we're evaluating quarterbacks, as you look around the league, like I was just looking at all the rookies, like Drake May showed a little promise. Caleb's getting better every single week. Obviously, Jaden Daniels has been really, really good this year. And you see Bo Nix last night. I think we're so caught up in throws. There's so much that gets baked into it. Leadership to the guys like you. You're talking before the show about Josh Allen. He's just a dude. Yeah. Then guys gravitate toward him. Can you spit the play out? Do you understand, how to make a free release or miss? Like, there's a billion things outside of making a throw.
Well, just Brock Purdy on Sunday. There's so much pre-snap motion and, did they get line? Remember the play a couple weeks ago when the 2 tight ends ran into each other?
Yes.
Yeah. So, that should never happen, but it can happen. Guys go the wrong way, like it gets called wrong, whatever. Like all these things can happen. But it all falls on the quarterback to get everybody lined up wrong. Like, for example, last week, the Eagles ran this play against Cleveland, and I'm watching the play. Myles Garrett makes the play for a 2-yard loss on Saquon. I'm like, you can't run that play. You can't run a counter trade, pull the backside, pulling Banks and Trent on the backside and not account for the end. You can't do that. Like, you have to have something to hold the end, whether it's a choke block or whether it's a chip block or whether it's a fake. But Miles is going to follow that tackle every time. Like, that's his job. Like, he's going to make – so I'm watching the play. I'm like, did it come in wrong? Did Jalen call it wrong?
Interesting.
Like, what happened? Because that should – that's a fundamental in that play that you got to hold the backside end.
It seems like something is fundamentally wrong with the Philadelphia Eagles after what transpired last weekend with Coach Nick Sirianni.
I've done games since 1998 at the NFL level, every Sunday since 1998, so 26 years. And I've never seen a coach ever during a game start giving fans the business during the game.
What was that?
Never. Like, I've seen it. I've seen, Buddy Ryan, Mike Dick go walk off the field and flip off a fan, maybe, but not during a game. And a game that was a one-score game.
Right.
I mean, all they needed was one play from Deshaun Watson, and they could win the game. I've never seen a coach go over there and give the fan the business during the game.
What is going on with Sirianni? Like, what is... Because he's kind of we saw him in Kansas City last year, the tunnel, saying, yeah, take that. He's always looking at the cameras. What is going on? Like, the maturity?
I don't know if he thinks like that helps, I don't know, bring in the troops, like rally the troops.
Galvanize the team or
That's
something?
not a rallying cry. No. It just isn't. Like you might say some things at halftime that rallies the troops. The rallying has to be done during the week in the preparation. You might give a player some business on the sideline because they blew an assignment or they had an unnecessary penalty or something like that. But otherwise, like I have this thing on the 49ers. They've got 28 coaches. 28 coaches on the staff. Like, they all got a responsibility. But, like, the last thing you want, because your head coach has got to be, like, what everybody's looking at. When he's over there giving the fan the business during the game, I'm like, if I was the owner, Jeffrey Lurie,
I would have fired him.
I don't know if I would have fired him, Joe, right? But I would have had him in my office as soon as the game was over.
It's your consumer. That is the...
You never win.
That's what I'm saying. You look like a fool.
Argument.
Then, to me, when you double down and then you bring your children out to the press conference, when there's only 17 of them, there's not 100 games like in baseball or basketball. You bring your children out as a meat shield after that game. To me, I thought it was weak and it showed a lot of cowardice. But, like, to your point about leadership, and I think this is important, I used to think there's only one way to lead. It's not, everybody fall behind me. There's many forms of leadership. Belichick does it one way. Dick Vermeil did it one way. Andy Reid did it one way. So you can win in a variety of ways. But that's not any form of leadership to me.
Well, I mean, look, let's just say Nick doesn't survive. And they're going to put his body of work together, including a Super Bowl loss, whatever. Like, that's going to be front and center. This is why. Like, you did this to Eagle fans. Right. Like, they're in the parking lot, like 49er fans. They're in the parking lot 5 hours before every game, win or lose. Good season, bad season. They're there every single Sunday. Like, that's your that's your team.
I just can't believe the players, too, though. Deep down his head, I'm sure the players are looking because there's a clip in the Super Bowl. I think it was a Super Bowl where Sirianni's pointing that's up. Jalen Hurts put his arm down. I was like, dude, chill. We're in the Super Bowl. Relax. You're the leader. Players, they know what's real. We had George Kittle on when the last time you were in studio with us, and he goes, look, man, we know what's fake. We know what's real. Right. Shanahan gives it to us real. Right. There's got to be players in that locker room that's just like, we don't know about this leadership, man. We got to go out there ourselves. Now, you got Vic Fangio, you got Kellen Moore, you got some pros in there, but players know what's fake and what's real, and it seems a little fugazi there with Nick Sirianni.
It seems a little manufactured.
Was it all Shane Steichen? Like, what Shane Steichen, the OC, is now in Indianapolis. I think highly of him as a play caller. Why was their offense so dynamic multiple years ago, and it feels like they just haven't been able to come close?
I remember talking to Shane in preseason that year. This is the year that they went to the Super Bowl. So I think they started off either 8-0. They started 8-0. They lost to Washington on a Monday night. But anyways, I talked to Shane, and he was like, he's still a straight shooter with me at least. But anyways, I said, like, what's this offense going to look like this year? He goes, Baldy, I got to be honest. Our offense line is unbelievable. We've got 4 backs that can carry it. But I think our quarterback is taking a step up. And we've got AJ. Like, I think we could be as diverse as any offense in football. And it's up to me to make sure that we're accenting the perfect style depending on who the opponent is. Yep. And you just came away thinking this thing could morph in any direction. Whatever. If they wanted to just melt the clock in a rain-soaked game, we could do that. If we want to, like, air it out because the defense isn't playing good and we got to, like, chase points, we could do that. Like, I felt like he had complete command of week to week what that offense could look like, and he had the ability to go and rehearse that to where they were going to like really perform well in that area on Sunday.
It feels like, man, Sirianni, I got so many questions about Nick Sirianni. I know we got a break here. We'll do that on the other side. We'll talk about Brady. We got a lot going on with the Chiefs and Niners playing on Sunday. Also a Warriors game, Baldy, if you're bored. I know you usually are packed and booked on a Friday night. Yeah. But, Chase Sitter's right down the street for you, man.
Oh, I love that place.
Did you pack the white jeans?
I'm going to go just early just to watch Steph just warm up.
Did you pack the white jeans?
No, I didn't.
They're
not on this trip.
It's fall. Okay, Labor Day's already passed. You don't wear white after that.
Dude, it was fall on a Friday night.
Not at 6th and Mission.
The last time I was at the gym. The last time I was at the gym 5 years ago, I'm coming out the gym sweating, and Baldy's walking down with the taco meat showing, buttons down, white jeans. I'm like, dude, you're not in Miami.
I had a rendezvous.
More coming up with Baldy live here in studio. Brought to you by Fremont Big Celebration.